Have you a mustache that is rather well known? In fact, could you be almost caricatured just by that?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you, Arlene. Are you Salvador Dali?
Salvador Dali is right.
The most popular form of art in the 1920s was surrealism, which is said to be influenced by the devastating war. One of the best-known artists for surrealism is Salvador Dali. He painted the persistence of memory, which shows melting pocket watches that represent how time is uncontrolled and rigid. This is related to how much time the war took out of many people's lives. Dali not only painted surrealism, but he was once influenced by another famous artist named Pablo Picasso, who painted Cubanism. Cubanism was another art movement in the 1900s that symbolized the different perspectives of life. Picasso used surrealism and Cubanism in his painting Guernica, which depicts many shades of gray. Inside the gray, figures, faces, and shapes spill out as if they were screaming in agony. This 1930s painting shows a story of how life was after the war, difficult and hard to follow. In the 1900s, art changed throughout the years, proving that any style of perspective, reality, or Cubanism can resemble a difficult time in the world.
I'm gonna grab me a picket from somebody's fence. Wait now, wait! Snatch me a picket from somebody's fence. Don't go berserk now, maestro, please.
Louis Armstrong was a well-known jazz player in the 1920s. He started adding extended solos, which started to change jazz music. The loudness and beat is what made jazz so popular, and it was a change from traditional music. The music expressed change in society, women being able to vote, African Americans gaining power, and it also brought new changes in socialism. It also represented the amount of time and money people were willing to pay for entertainment.
A lady of letters, a young writer who went from without rags to riches. Also star of Star and Garter, our own Gypsy Rose Lee.
After the men came back from battle, their society that they had once left had changed. Women broke out of traditional ways and started cutting their hair, drinking, smoking, and wearing revealing clothes. The term flapper was used to describe younger girls about the age of 19, who were not quite in womanhood yet, and very inclined to break out of old traditions and go against their parents. From 1925 to 1927, flapper skirts were just below the knee. They cut their hair short, which then became known as the bob. Flappers also started wearing makeup, such as powder, eyeliners, and lipstick.
I never care what I do, so I always have a good time.
When I was here last, I tore my gown on a chair and he asked my name.
Who's he?
Gatsby, of course. Inside of a week, I got a package from Quarriers with a new evening gown in it.
Due to the change in socialization from the party scene and jazz music, F. Scott Fitzgerald, an American author, wrote the novel The Great Gatsby. Because of the war, many people used partying as an alternative to get their minds off of the problems in their daily lives. The Great Gatsby takes place in New York City and shows the extravagant lifestyle and wild parties many during this time were throwing. Fitzgerald was sure that this novel would have connected well with the readers. The public was not impressed, even scoring the review, "The carefree life of jazz and whoopee and endless parties was not really carefree at all. It was a dissipation, and no finely talent can stand such mistreatment indefinitely without losing some of its keenness."
It's friendship, friendship, just a basic friendship. When other friendships have been forget, I will still be it. Love, 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 love.
Theater shows, such as Anything Goes, were used as an escape from the hard times during the war. Celebrities such as Judy Garland, then known as Frances Gumm, graced the stages of vaudeville in her act, The Gumm Sisters, later known as Garland. Ethel Merman, known for her movies and career in musical theater, performed Cole Porter's compositions such as Friendship, Anything Goes, and You're the Top, keeping people entertained. Although the times of the war were tough for most people, many found an outlet by visiting the theater.